Welcome back, everyone. Marvel just revealed a bunch more deleted scenes from Spider-Man No Way Home, including Tom Holland in several versions of the symbiote suit. There are a ton of Easter eggs. Even Spider-Man PS4 was supposed to be in that movie at some point in live action, and a more legit comic book accurate version of the Iron Spider suit, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Ahsoka episodes are starting really soon. I'll be doing videos for that. The Loki Season 2 episodes are coming after that. I just did a new trailer video for it, so I had a link for it at the end of this down in the description below. So there's a lot of big stuff coming up. Least of all, Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland. But recently, you probably saw in your feeds all these new deleted scenes Marvel was releasing for Spider-Man No Way Home, all way crazier than the actual deleted scenes that they released with the Blu-ray. All the coolest stuff they never wind up releasing for some reason. Just starting with the biggest one, Spider-Man in multiple versions of the full-on symbiote suit from the comics. All Spider-Man symbols are made in the style of the classic comic book symbiote suit style. Like, his Spider-Man symbol changes between his previous version in the movie to be more comic book accurate when he first got the symbiote suit during the original Secret Wars comics.
Well, I mean, you look at the obvious comic connotations between Venom and Spider-Man, and it's inherent. So the minute Sony made their Venom movie and it worked as well as it did, and Tom Hardy became as iconic as he has become as Venom, then the obvious questions and how do we start to merge them?
The first version of the logo is gold colored, then there's a red one and a traditional white one, which would have been the most comic book accurate to the version he wore in the comics after Secret Wars. The red one is also a super deep cut. There's a cool story behind that red Spider-Man symbiote suit logo. Back before the original Marvel Secret Wars event happened in the comics, like when they were still planning it, they ran a fan contest to redesign Spider-Man's suit, so a bunch of fans submitted their artwork. So in 1982, Randy Schuler of Fans submitted his art of Spider-Man wearing a black suit with a red logo. Like, they hadn't come up with the concept of the symbiote yet. That didn't become an actual thing until Todd McFarlane did the Venom comic and was a bit of a retcon. They turned it into the symbiote suit. When he got the suit in Secret Wars, they just called it the quote-unquote alien costume. Like, the whole term symbiote didn't come till much, much later. So when the fan was submitting his design for this with the red logo, he just thought it would be cool if Spider-Man wore a black costume. Ultimately, Marvel decided to take his design and change it a little bit to the white logo version, but he gets credit basically for coming up with the idea of Spider-Man wearing the black costume. Recently, Marvel actually brought that back into canon with Peter David and Rick Leonard when they did Sensational Spider-Man Self-Improvement with some Easter eggs for him actually getting the original suit in Secret Wars. Like, they brought a little bit of that story back. During the original version of events, Spider-Man's suit gets damaged during Secret Wars, and he finds this alien device, this technology, which replaces it with this symbiote suit, but at the time, it was just an alien costume. Now, in the deleted scenes, the white logo is self-explanatory, like they wanted to do a symbiote suit with a Secret Wars Easter egg, but make it more accurate to those comics. The gold logo was them trying to do that symbiote suit, but say that it was a combination of him getting the Venom symbiote while he was wearing his newest advanced suit from the end of the movie, which itself was a combination of the Steve Ditko advanced suit and the Iron Spider suit with the gold highlights. They didn't say exactly when he was going to get this Venom symbiote suit in the movie, but if you remember that originally Venom wasn't supposed to just be relegated to a post-credit scene. During the theatrical cut, they did the Venom symbiote post-credit scene with him leaving behind a piece of the symbiote, but originally they were going to have Venom show up earlier in the movie and actually fight with Spider-Man at the Statue of Liberty final battle against the other Sinister Six villains. That's what Tom Hardy's dialogue was meant to be a reference to.
Rest assured, dear viewers, we here at the Daily Bugle will not rest until we've uncovered the truth behind his web of lies. I'm J. Jonah Jameson.
Hey, maybe I should go to New York and speak to this Spider-Man.
Originally, he was going to portal into New York City and meet Spider-Man that way. It sounds like their alternate plan was for Venom to show up just in case Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield didn't work out for some reason, so there were multiple versions of the end of the movie when they were supposed to all show up, and in one of them, Venom comes instead of them. It sounds like at some point during that fight, Spider-Man would have gotten the Venom symbiote, and then it forms the suit around him, and that's how they explain the logo. This was a whole big thing when the first Venom solo movie came out with Tom Hardy, like how are they going to explain the logo if he hasn't met Tom Holland's Spider-Man yet? But now he kind of has like he's seen him on screen, so he knows what the logo looks like. Kevin Feige had been saying for a long time that there was a chance that they would actually cross over, but he didn't say which movie that would happen in or how they were going to make that go down. It sounds like for a long time they were planning on that being Spider-Man No Way Home until Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield worked out. They didn't say what the new version of the post-credit scene would have been had Venom shown up earlier and done the symbiote suit twist. I'm assuming it would have been something similar where he still gets portaled back to his universe at the end of the movie, but leaves behind a piece of the symbiote so that they can continue on with a much bigger Spider-Man symbiote saga in the future, like they're doing right now. But they would have changed some of his dialogue so that instead of just yelling about Thanos and the 5-year time jump getting drunk, he would have also been yelling about their fight with the Sinister Six villains. Seeing the movie, it seems pretty obvious why they cut this Venom symbiote scene from it. First, they got Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield no problem, so the movie was already too full of characters to have Venom show up during the final battle, and they just decided to cut him out. Since he wasn't there, it wouldn't have made sense for Tom Holland to get the symbiote before the end of the movie, and Marvel probably just decided early on, because of all that, they'd save the symbiote suit twist for Avengers 6 Secret Wars so that they could do a much more comic book accurate version of him getting the symbiote suit. The whole idea in Spider-Man's appearance is that every time he shows up in a new movie, he gets a new suit, and they really want to reach for deep cuts for Avengers movies, so why not have one of the biggest deep cuts of all time for Secret Wars? The second big deleted scene seems even crazier than the symbiote suit, if you can believe it. Spider-Man PS4 apparently showing up during that final battle, meaning he would have been a live-action version of the character canonized to the MCU. There are a couple things that might have been going on here. He might have been a substitution for Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield if they had dropped out of the movie at some point or they didn't work out for some reason. We know there were multiple versions of the final battle with a bunch of different combinations of characters fighting in this scene. Or this might have been Tom Holland's Spider-Man just getting a new suit before the final battle the way he did in the movie, but this one just happens to look exactly like Spider-Man PS4's suit. Like the scene where his advanced suit combines with the Iron Spider nanites to create his new suit might have just turned into this PS4 looking suit. I literally just did a trailer for Spider-Man 2 with that version of the character, so I'll post a link in the description. They're kind of in the middle of doing their own version of the symbiote saga, but it's based on the plot from the first Spider-Man PS4 game, so it's not like the comic book symbiote saga.
What the hell's going on with Pete?
He's not himself. Go help him.
They pretty much already canonized Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales from that universe into Across the Spider-Verse, though, but they were the animated versions of the characters. Most of you remember they did have a bunch of live-action crossover scenes with animation in Across the Spider-Verse with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and Venom, so expect more live-action versions of the characters to appear in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. The next big deleted scene was a much more comic book accurate Iron Spider suit, and this would have been the suit created from that combination of the advanced suit and the Infinity War Iron Spider suit. The final version they went with in the movie was more of a blend of the red and black colors. This one would have been a much bigger change. Looks super cool, maybe at some point they'll do some kind of version of this. Usually Marvel does that, like they'll have really cool deleted scenes or really cool concept art that just won't work out for some reason or they'll pull back on and they'll bring it back around in some future movie. There were a bunch of other smaller deleted scenes and concepts that they revealed, mostly more comic book accurate designs for everybody in the movie, like a more comic book accurate version of Dr. Octopus. There was also an iron fanny pack Spider-Man used to hold his Iron Spider suit. It was meant to be his version of Iron Man's briefcase armor, the Iron Man Mark V from Iron Man 2, but a fanny pack. Something about this just makes it feel like Ned and MJ would have clowned on it pretty hard during the movie. There was also an Iron Man style belt that he wore that did basically the same thing, but just feels a little more sleek. There were a ton of other big deleted scenes and Easter eggs I just did a video for, like Ned Leeds turning into a version of Hobgoblin, Green Goblin getting an Iron Man suit that he turns into an Iron Goblin suit. I'll post links for all that stuff down in the description below. Andrew Garfield was also recently talking about the future of his Amazing Spider-Man 2, saying that they envisioned he would go on to continue being Spider-Man in his universe, having all kinds of adventures.
Would you do it again? Would you put the suit on if given the opportunity?
You know, never say never. I mean, it's a character that's always gonna be so meaningful to me and so beautiful to me. And again, it comes back to service. You know, I think if there's a way, because that's what that character is all about. He's all about serving the greater good and serving his fellow people, his fellow, you know, serving humanity and all life. You know, so if there's a way for me to continue to add to the legacy of that character in a way that feels like it's of service to an audience, of service to the themes that, you know, the themes that Stan Lee kind of, you know, injected that character with, I'm open, of course. I'm very, very open.
The whole idea with his Amazing Spider-Man is that had they made the Amazing Spider-Man 3, they would have started him on his own Venom Symbiote saga, introducing a bunch of other characters that they're now doing in present day, like Morbius, for instance. It's Morbin time, a full Sinister Six trilogy of spin-off movies, which they're still trying to do right now. Let me know in the comments though, when do you want them to do Spider-Man's symbiote suit if they don't do a full symbiote saga starting in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4? They might save that for further on too. Click here for my new Loki Season 2 trailer video, and click here for all those other big Spider-Man deleted scenes. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.